The Fortean News Podcast. Welcome to the Fortean News Podcast. We've got Paul Cowmeadow. I've just said your name, so I didn't get it wrong, and then said it wrong. Paul Cowmeadow with us from Gloucester, Gloucestershire. And for my main listeners are in America, so they're going to love your accent.
Oh, right. Okay.
But yeah, we kind of really kind of dig into it, and just to say those listening, we also have it on video if you want to see our beautiful faces. Most people listening, but that is there as an option on YouTube. So Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. Yeah, good. Been a good day so far. Yeah.
Yes. It's the spooky season, and I've been saying to you for years, I need to get you on the show, and then I just went, let's do it. So you're finally
good
here.
Timing. Good time to have. Yeah.
And you're really, really busy with the paranormal stuff at the moment, especially this time of year, I imagine. I want to kind of.
October. Yeah.
It's always busy, isn't it? I really want to dig down, like right from the beginning of where you started and why because it's a bit weird, isn't it, what we do?
It is.
And then even taking it, like you're one of the few people that I see who's obsessed and probably every single day immersed in this stuff as I am.
Yeah.
How did that start with you?
Well, I think it goes right back to childhood, really, in a way. I've always been fascinated with the unknown, ghosts, things like that. But when you're a child, you don't really know what's normal from what's not, you know. So as you get older and you're still into these things, everybody else is into like tech and these materialistic things and things like that. You start to notice that, okay, maybe there's something going on here. I've always had a strong interest in the occult and witchcraft and things like that. It wasn't till about 25 years ago, really, that I discovered that you could find these things in bookshops now. You know, I always thought, how am I going to learn witchcraft? I'm going to have to find a family of witches who have had these dusty old books handed down to them and learn from them. No, I found some in a bookshop and there's a big section on it. And so I kind of got in that way. And that's how I started my journey really into more hands-on approach to it.
And what sparked that interest initially? Because everyone's kind of exposed to it, but you went, that's for me. What was that moment, or was there a moment? Was it a gradual evolution?
I think I got a slight religious side to him because when I was about 16, I felt that I had this spiritual side to me. I was a little bit of a bad boy back then, so I was kind of in two different worlds with it, trying to find myself, as you are when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're going to try religion, you always get drawn to the one we all know, Christianity.
Yeah.
So I gave that a go. I became a Christian, even got baptized. But it never felt right. It was never really connecting with me. I was watching people speaking in tongues and falling over and being caught. And I thought, oh, I want that. That looks so awesome. You know what I mean? I want to do that. I could never have it. Never happened. Yeah. So I always knew that wasn't really a path for me. I figured that out. But the occult and the unknown, it was still there in my mind. And I was still, every time I seen it on TV or something, I'd be, oh, look at that, And you didn't really have paranormal shows like you do today back then. It was few and far between. So anything like that caught my imagination, caught my attention. And it was after that I started noticing that you could learn witchcraft and stuff, and you can practice it. I felt drawn to it. So I got into that really. And then the spirit world kind of attaches to that very nicely, So I've had so many different experiences over the years, even before I was into the paranormal as an investigator or anything. I've seen apparitions. I've had experiences I couldn't explain, and full-blown apparitions in places that couldn't be explained. And I thought, well, there's something in this. I've got to go further. It started off with old techniques, using Ouija board maybe, which I don't like to use these days. Divining rods, candles, smoke, all kinds of different divination techniques and stuff to communicate with spirits. Back then, word generating apps were in their infancy.
Yeah.
So I was having a little dabble with them, more to try and debunk them really than to use them as real. So I thought, yeah, these are for entertainment purposes. But then I started getting some really good, incredible, intelligent responses from them.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we went with that, and then obviously, me and Ed linked back up together, had a bit of an experience in a local graveyard, and that's when we got excited and started to form Gloucester Paranormal Investigation Services. And it just went from there, really. It just opened up from to there to what that was. And yeah, that's how I got into it, really. It's just always been there. It's always been something I could just wanted to reach out and grab. And then all of a sudden, there's all these ways I could learn it and practice things. And practice witchcraft for years, different traditions. I didn't stick to one, a bit of an occultist, if you like. I like to...
A journey through.
I like to learn light and dark side of things. I like to get the full picture of everything. I like to research everything, I don't just what's handed to me. I want to see everything.
I think from what you've just said, and talking about your personality there, it makes sense because you went into Christianity. You wanted the things, the tangible things that didn't happen for you, and then you started exploring the other side of things, and you actually saw apparitions. So you're like, okay, I'm on a path here. That's tangible. That's real. I've witnessed something. So there is something to it, and then you felt connected.
Oh, exactly that. Yeah, I'm seeing more within the occult realms in the spirit world than I ever did see from a church and people telling me what I should be seeing and should be feeling. I mean, those people had experiences, no doubt. I've seen it.
Yeah,
speaking in weird languages, and I know they don't speak any other language. I've seen them falling over.
Yeah.
So I knew there was something. There was an energy. There's a spiritual energy these people were connecting to.
Yeah,
but it just wasn't. For me,
you weren't. It wasn't your journey.
No matter how hard I tried, no matter how hard I tried to believe and have that, it didn't happen. It wasn't even getting close. So, yeah, that's what steered me back the other way, and that just made so much sense to me. I mean, practicing witchcraft and doing some of the rituals and the spells and the energies that you invoke.
Yeah.
They're real energies. I've blown light bulbs and electrical equipment raising these energies. They're very real, tangible energies, and that's real. That's something I've done. I've created.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that, because I don't know much about that side of things. I like my spiritual journey is very much philosophical and being part of the earth and connecting with things. So tell me, I've never invoked a spell. What's that like, and what do you do?
It's pretty much what you just said. It's earth energies. I mean, witchcraft isn't this evil, devil worshipping thing that it's made out to, but there is that side of it. But it's modern Wicca that I started learning, which is an earth honoring religion. So you're using earth energies, elemental energies. And that's the energies I'm talking about that I've raised within a ritual that have blown light bulbs. It's earth energies. Goddess energies, God energies, all positive energies, and nothing bad, no devils involved, nothing like that. So basically what you're doing is you're invoking the energies of the earth to work with you and within a circle. So you're containing those energies within a circle.
Okay.
You're giving it an intention. Your spell, say you're doing a spell, you'll have an intention for that spell, and you put the right ingredients together, things that symbolize that spell, whatever really you're doing, you create it. And then you channel the power up using earth energies and guide it to the universe to do its will. That's basically, in a nutshell, what spells is. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's how it kind of works. So, it's all about honoring the earth and earth energies and things like that. It's not the bad side of it that you see so much on TV and the left-hand path, if you like.
So it's more kind of the pagan ideas rather than...
Pagan ideas, yeah.
Because witchcraft encompasses and as you say, it's been bastardized really by films and things to something negative.
Yeah, I mean, toned-down paganism won't sell many movies. I mean, so you've got to hype it up and do the dark stuff if you really want to sell movies.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. I mean, anything is like the Poltergeist movie, for example. You'll know as well as I do, poltergeist doesn't necessarily mean an evil spirit. It just means a noisy one.
Yeah.
ones that can physically move something and touch you.
Yeah.
You know, until you get the story behind that particular spirit, you know, whether it's bad or whether it's a good spirit. That's my experience with them anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but Hollywood have been poltergeist, evil, bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, same kind of thing. I mean, same with the demons that you see on the telly. I mean, you know as well as they're rare.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
rare that you come across a demonic entity.
Yeah.
You do, you'll certainly know about it, and you probably won't want to go near it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 So, yeah, a lot of things are hyped up a little bit for TV and
Yeah.
these demon houses popping up and stuff. It's yeah.
Yeah. Well, I always say on the show, we often get called in because another investigator's been in before. And one place they literally said there was a legion of demons in this house. I was
A
like
legion.
a legion. I was like, if there was a legion of demons, it's the apocalypse. Like,
Yeah, that's worrying. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, what was your first experience then? The first thing you kind of witnessed that was paranormal?
Oh, say the first proper apparition I seen that freaked me right out. It's probably when I was in my late 20s, actually, this one. I'd had other little strange stuff going on before that, but this was proper, like, full-on apparition of a little dead girl,
Right,
basically. We used to live in this house with an ex-partner. It was a really old house. And we didn't know it was haunted. It was really, really haunted. Apparently, the whole family died in there of a fire.
right,
And there was a little girl. Now I seen her in the end of the kitchen. She stood there as clear as day, all Victorian dress on, looked dead. You know, it was pretty freaky, and she was shouting or speaking to me, but there was no audio. She was on
right.
mute, so I
Okay,
couldn't hear no words. It was really weird.
that's creepy. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But she was trying to tell me something. Her body language was trying to express like some kind of emergency, like help or something like that. And it was like I'm like stood there. I was washing up at the time, like, and it was mad how it happened. This cup started shaking,
right,
just rattling. It wouldn't stop. Stop doing. And that got my attention. And then I looked and seen this apparition, this little girl, and yeah, after that, I'd feel like tugs on my arm, things like that. Like she was trying to get my attention in that house. I mean, that was just one apparition I seen. Another one happened at an old church hall in the Forest of Dean when I witnessed a caretaker walk past me. Old guy, farmer, old brown, you know, the brown
yeah,
caretaker jackets,
yeah, yeah,
fat baby face fella, walks past, morning in his proper Forest of Dean accent. All right, mate, you know, goes back to the others, asked who the old guy was, and they said, what old guy? And dangled the keys at me. Oh, we let ourselves in. And when I spoke to some of the elders of the village later, they tell me that, oh no, that was the caretaker. He died 6 years ago. He used to live 3 doors down.
wow,
Yeah. So it's things like that. And he was as clear as day. He not
yeah,
acknowledged me and spoke to
yeah,
me.
yeah. So it
So
wasn't
I always
residual.
used to think, you know, residual spirits, intelligent spirits, because residual spirits aren't supposed to see us. They're supposed to be in their own time. It's like stone tape theory, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
they're in their time. But yeah, this one was full on, and it acknowledged me, looked me in the eye, and said "morning," and it's
yeah.
so that was all before I was investigating.
So what
Uh,
what what I always find interesting is the human behind it, and let's be honest, most people would have those experiences and go, no, that's it. You went the other way. You're like, oh, that was terrifying. Let's explore that. How did that happen?
I think the occult training comes in useful to raise a lot of these energies. Can be pretty scary. And sometimes you're calling on elemental things, which can overwhelm you, and that's scary. That's enough to scare a lot of people off just practicing witchcraft. So once you can get past energies like that, it kind of covers your fear factor a little bit when it comes to spirits and stuff. So I've never run away, ever. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a natural part of me that just, I don't feel that fear. You know, I'm in a dark place and I hear a noise and everyone else going that way. I'm going forward. I want to know what it is. I'll
Yeah.
just do it naturally.
Yeah.
It'd have to be something pretty major for me to run away. Nothing ever has ever happened that's made me do that. No matter how intense it's got, I've always tried to stand my ground
Yeah.
and get an answer or explain it in some way. We've had to back out of investigations in the past because obviously it was coming too overwhelming over time. It was affecting us to the point it was almost possessing us and stuff. And that can become quite dangerous, especially if there's only two of you on an investigation. One turns, that can be pretty scary because you're not just dealing with a spirit, you're dealing with another human being that can be capable of hurting you or something. So that can get a bit freaky.
Yeah. It is interesting when it's not always like you were just saying, that the house that I used to live in, it wasn't just the poltergeist activity, it was the negative effect it had on my family. And I was told, like, the previous owner committed suicide, and the owner before that committed suicide. My brother committed suicide. My mother attempted suicide in that house, and when she left, that stopped. There was something about a darkness in that house that was just bad luck as well. It was almost like the family was cursed because continuous bad luck was going on.
It becomes like a magnet, doesn't it? You get so many bad things like that happen, and the energy just collects. We know it seeps into the actual property itself. These negative energies, and I think we've seen this before in house investigations we've done over the years, where a good family will move in, loving family, and before you know it, they're arguing for nothing. There's negativity going on. The kids are being affected. Everything's falling apart, and then stuff happens to them. They can just become part of the house's history again, and it builds up and builds up and builds up until you possibly can, over time, get one of these demon houses, as they say.
Yeah. Do you think that it's a mechanism on purpose? Do you think whatever it is, feeds off it, or do you think it's just a side effect?
I think you get these negative spirits that have been negative spirits for a long time, and they feed off negativity.
Right.
In a demonic way, if you like. And they feed off that, and they will turn positive to negative. They enjoy seeing suffering. That's what they live off,
It's like the Monster Inc. factor, isn't it? When they're going in, they're scaring the kids and then collecting that energy.
Yes, exactly that. They're thriving off it. They grow from it. I mean, that's what demons are. Essentially, they're given power by thought or belief. Anybody can create a demon. You just got to give it a name, an image, an infliction that it puts upon you. Tell one person, that person believes. That person tells two people, they believe. That two people tell six people, they all believe. Before you know it, all these people believe in it and they give it power. Right. That's how it works. That's how things work in the occult. That's how spells work. You're given something, a thought form and a power to materialize and do something. And that's what demonology is. You've got ancient ones that have been around for thousands and thousands of years, very powerful because so many have believed in them. So many do today. And that's where you get some really bad demonic oppression sometimes. Because they do exist. They are there. They're just rare.
Yeah.
But then you've just got evil spirits. Just bad people.
Yeah.
And they also thrive off it. I believe they also thrive off that negative energy because they did all their lives.
Yeah.
You get these narcissistic people who are just complete bullies and
horrible,
toxic people their entire lives. And when they die, they're not just going to turn into a nice spirit, are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
In my experience, their mentality, their personality, everything changes. They just don't have a body anymore.
Yeah.
So their feed off that negative energy. They'll just carry it on to wherever they can find in the afterlife.
Yeah.
That's my experience with that kind of thing anyway, with the investigations we've done over the years.
I think we should get into the investigations, but before we do that, like, you live in a really amazing part of the world. Do you want to describe Gloucester for people that aren't aware? Because there's people listening from all over the globe on this. So Gloucester's like a gateway, isn't it? That's seen a lot of history.
Gloucester, very rich in history. Yeah, I mean, going back over 2,000 years, you had tribes here living here. But when the Romans came, essentially, Gloucester became, when the Romans started stripping down all their places, they destroyed a lot of their cities and stuff. They kept Gloucester as like a retirement place for emperors and stuff who come here, and so that's why Gloucester essentially got saved and didn't get disbanded like a lot of other places did. And then, yeah, over the years, it's been subject to the Civil War stuff that happened with Edward Massey. That was a pretty big thing with the siege of Gloucester, and that particular part of it, we've got a lot of old buildings here dating back to like the 1400s and stuff. The Gloucester Cathedral, of course, which is world famous. A lot of big films filmed there. Harry Potter being one of them and stuff. Doctor Who filmed around the back in there. It's always being used. Got the docks here. They're always being used. Yeah, Gloucester's so rich in so much history with industry as well. It was massive in the pin and needle industry back in the day. You see all these little bollards in the town centre that look like pins. They're dedicated to them. And way too much history being lost, though, I find in cities these days. New builds going up. Some of the old ones are disappearing. But Gloucester's managed just to hold on to some of its old ones, like, and they're grade 1 listed, so they won't be going anywhere. But yeah, it's rich for its history. It's rich for its culture, really. It's in the industry. And it's paranormal, of course.
Yeah.
Spirits here, because of its rich history, it's always spirit. There's always something going on. The ghost tours are pretty good here. Yeah, I mean, it's the perfect place for someone like me, really. Another place I'd say was similar would be York.
Yeah, just up the road from me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm keen to get up there and do some stuff up there.
Yeah.
That's the two main places kind of here with the paranormal and the history is York and Gloucester. They are so rich in the history. Yeah, I've got a few things going on in Gloucester at the minute. I'm going to be setting some a certain tour up.
Oh, fantastic.
It's going to be in a building in the Gloucester Antique Centre, which is one of Gloucester's oldest buildings.
Oh, wow.
It's antique in itself. It was used in the Civil War. It's been a judge's lodgings, Grocers Guild. Mayor lived there 3 times. It's got so much history going right back to the late 1400s. And
I know the building you mean. Yeah. I know which one you mean. I remember reading.
They were the first building to give us an opportunity back in the day. When we started, the end of 2016, they took us out of the graveyards and into the big historical buildings, and that was the gateway opening for us into what it is now, really, because we would have never have got that far without them.
Yeah. How do you, why did you want to start investigating as a team, and how did that come about?
Well, it was pretty much just me, really, for years, and then me and Ed hooked back up, started socializing again, and I wanted to go and do an investigation at a little graveyard called St. Catherine's in Matson in Gloucester. It's got a famous story which I grew up with. The blue lady, or the grey lady as is known, lost her shoe during the Civil War.
Right.
And her apparition of spirits said to be there chasing people away, and she's looking for her shoe. So I grew up with that story. So it's only just around the corner from where Ed lived at the time. So we went up there. Basically, just the basics. I had a word generating app, a digital recorder, and a digital camera. That was pretty much my kit back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a really weird EVP come through saying something like, "So help me God." It said, a really creepy whisper. It was like,
yeah.
And on the way out, I just thought, stuff it. I spun around real quick and just took a picture. So I think I caught the grey lady off guard. Because when I got back, I looked at the picture and there's this cloaked figure stood there. And there's nothing there. There's no headstones where that particularly is. I went up and checked the next day, and there's just an opening there. So, oh, so we just catched a grey lady. Like, and that excited us both, obviously. And
Yeah.
we were pretty heavy into watching Ghost Adventures and stuff at the time. And we often questioned watching Ghost Adventures. How much of this is for TV?
Yeah.
How much of this is actually real?
Yeah.
Once that happened at St. Catherine's, I was thinking, well, let's do this then. You know, let's get some of the same equipment they got. Let's do it in a similar style to what they do, maybe just not so American.
Yeah.
We won't call each other dude every 5 seconds. But yeah, we'll do it like that. We'll have a go. Let's see what's real, what's not, what's staged. You know, so it's kind of an experiment in a way. I didn't say, apart from the word generating apps, I've not really ventured into world of tech, investigating. So I thought, let's do it. So we did. I can honestly say watching Ghost Adventures is probably one of the most realistic ones.
Mm.
I watch an episode of that now and think, yeah, that's happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something very similar to that's happened to me. Yeah, that's happened. That can happen. That happened. You can't say that about them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of inspired us then. So we kind of do it in their style, but with a little bit of an English touch to it, I suppose.
Yeah.
A little bit more toned down and not so hyperactive.
Yeah. And then you went in the first building. What was that like?
But it's great. Yeah, the antique center said, yeah, come on in. So we went every week for the first 3 months.
Right.
Every Wednesday we would go there from about 3 till 5:30 before they closed. Just as it was getting dark as well. It was in the winter. So we had like light till twilight into dark. So I thought it was a nice touch. We can do experiments with that. You know, and yeah, we were in our infancy back then, still learning a lot. And it was a great place to learn because it had, back then they only occupied 2 floors, the ground floor and the first floor. You had another 3 floors above with attics. They were off. The public couldn't go there.
Yeah.
But we were allowed access, and that's where we caught a lot of good evidence. And we made up with a spirit that we're still in touch with today called Mary. Mary Bayliss, we believe her name is. She was the wife of the Mayor of Gloucester, Richard Webb, back in the 1700s. That's what our research tells us. She's kind of confirmed it. Brilliant on a spirit box. You go up in the attics with a spirit box. She's talking every time. Very distinctive voice comes through. Mary. Got an Irish man called Michael in there. A very strong Irish accent.
Right.
Not quite sure what his story is. He may have worked there. Maybe he come over during the potato famine or something. Worked there when it was Winfield Seeds, the seed merchant.
Right.
We don't know his story, but we know he's there. We've got his voice. We know there's some children there. And I bought my haunted doll, Peggy, from the antique centre. I've had her with me now for about 8 years.
Yeah.
Found her in the antique centre.
Right.
Which is a weird story in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just go there every week and we walk past the dolls. She's all these porcelain old antique dolls. Some normal looking, some a bit creepy looking as they are, these dolls. There's this one, Peggy, in this red dress with quite a pale face. So, that was a bit freaky. No one ever bought it. It was the only one left at one point. But every week I'd go in and I'd just be drawn to this doll. And I kept thinking about it, even when I wasn't there. And I'm thinking, you know, I was in my early 40s at the time, thinking, why am I thinking of the doll?
Yeah.
Why? So I thought something about this doll. So on the way out one day, I just ran a EMF meter over the top of these dolls. And when I got to the top of her, I had a little spike. Didn't think too much of it. Thought, okay. And in the end, I couldn't stop thinking about the doll, so I bought her. I thought, right, I'm buying this doll. So we used it as kind of a trigger object to start with. And immediately we started getting child voice come through. I took her home and I used to keep her to start with in a kit case, in a cupboard with the rest of my kit. Yeah, she didn't like that very much. She has a very particular way of letting me know what she likes and what she doesn't like.
Yeah.
Being kept in a kit case in a cupboard wasn't one of those things she liked. And so all of a sudden, I start feeling really weird. Like you feel a bit tight, like your left arm started hurting. I'm thinking, oh my God. But in my head, all I can see is this doll. I'm thinking, oh, this ain't good. What's going on here? So because I kept thinking of her, I went out, took her out the cupboard, takes her out. Instantly, it stops. Instantly, all them feelings stop. And I thought, okay, all right. So I put her on display in the room. And yeah, she's happy.
Yeah.
It's gone away. I'm feeling normal again. At the time, my missus had her sister staying at our house in the spare room. And my missus decided she was going to prank her. Without my knowledge, he took the doll and put it in her room. She's woke up at 2:30 in the morning. The room's freezing, apparently. Sees the doll, freaked out, threw it out on the landing. Now, I'm not aware of this. I'm in bed. So all of a sudden, I'm waking up. I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling really, feeling again. I'm feeling all tight, like I'm going to have a stroke or something. All I can see is her head. And I look over to where Peggy should be. She's not there. I'm like, huh? What? So I'm half asleep now. The doll's not where she is. I'm half dying, thinking, where is she? I'm thinking, has she done a Chucky on me? Is she running around right now? What's going on? I'm freaking. So I open the bedroom door, and there she is, face down on the landing. And I think, oh my God, how'd you get it there? Because I didn't know she was using a prank. I didn't know she's been thrown on the landing. All I know is I woke up, she's on the landing, not where she was sat. How'd she get there? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, she didn't like that being used as a prank. So,
No. Can imagine.
I didn't appreciate that when he actually. Can you imagine it though? You wake up to the floor where your doll is and it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other time, I just lifted the flap on her little hat. Don't know why I did it. Just did. Yeah, I nearly called an ambulance for that one. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, she can.
She lets you know.
She lets you know.
Yeah.
And there was another time in my flat. It's after we moved out of that house, I got another flat and I left her in there. And I had a little display for her right under the window, but I had some paint flaking off the wall and some workmen needed to come in and do some work. I wasn't going to be there. So I asked my son, oh, couldn't move Peggy for me. Could you just put her on the bed? So I don't want her getting covered in paint flakes or anything. She ain't going to like that.
Yeah.
He didn't do it, did he?
Right.
When I got there, I see her there with a few flakes. I'm like, oh, no. Sorry, Peggy. I dust her off, and I put her on the thing. I go in the kitchen, and my flat's one of those old buildings, got really high ceilings. You need a ladder to change the light bulb. It's one of those jobs.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I felt something go on the top of my head. I'm like, what was that? She cut my head.
Oh, wow.
Cut on my head. Yeah. Actually scratched me. It's bleeding.
So you got told off?
Nothing up there that could have done that. There was nothing at all that could have done that. It was like really, but that was the last time that happened. Yeah. That's from the antique centre. So
right. And what do you think? What do you think Peggy's story is? Do you know the backstory? Like, she seems to be telling you off a lot, but obviously have a connection
a lot about
to
her history. She, I've questioned her on these things. I don't seem to get a response as to where she came from, who she really is. I know she likes to be mothered. I used to take her on events when we did paranormal events at a place called the Royal William in Cranham. We used to do haunted dinner events,
right?
And then we lead an investigation. And I used to take Peggy with me there, and there were certain women there who were mothers, good mothers, and they'd pick her up and they'd be treating her like a baby, and she loved it. I'd stand next to her with a KT meter, and it's going off the scale. I've got the camera. It's going off the scale. She loves being mothered,
cared for. Yeah.
I don't know why she chose a man to look after her. I'm not sure why she chose me. she don't like men very much. If good men and good fathers, I suppose she likes. I've had a few friends who have held her. My friend come around once. She goes, "I heard you got this doll. Can I see it?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you want." Yeah, so I goes and gets her. He holds it up like this, facing him. I think that's probably not the best approach. Within 30 seconds, he's giving her back. He's on her back. I feel all cold. So yeah, she affected him in ways. She's not too keen on men, so I don't know why she chose me. Maybe she just felt safe with me, or maybe she knew my path and what I'm doing, and I'd look after her.
Yeah, respect her.
You know, I've got a crying boy picture too.
A crying boy picture?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about that.
Antique centre. And once again, antique centre, walking around the antique centre. What's this on the crying boy? So probably a copy, but yeah, I thought, got to have that. Because this is at the time when certain teams were going around burning them, setting fire to them.
Right.
So I thought was a really bad thing to do.
Yeah.
A bit disrespectful in a way.
Yeah.
And we just come across it in the antique centre. Got to have that. But I'm trying to build my own collection as well. Early days, but I'd like my own little collection of haunted objects. So Peggy being one of them.
I've got a doll. Probably can't see it over there. She's like down that someone just handed to me from the door like that and asked me to take it away. So she's pretty quiet. She fell off once a few days after I got her. I did a few experiments where I just knocked her off to see how far it go, and she was a lot further than it is possible just to fall. But she's been very quiet since. She just sits up there.
Got a name?
No, not yet. I've not done much with her, to be honest. I'll have to take her out. We've got an event coming up soon, so I might take her there. See if she does.
I got our name Peggy. Kept coming through things like the Alice box, things like that. Name Peggy would come up whilst working with Peggy. I also got an EVP of her at the Royal William, really loudly shouting "Peggy" like that.
Right.
There's no one else that could have done that.
And it's not a common name either, is it? So
it seems to be for haunted dolls. There seems to be a few haunted dolls called Peggy.
Oh, that's interesting.
You're right, it's not a common name, as in you don't hear of anybody called Peggy these days. It's an old name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what equipment do you use when you go out?
Just the standard, really. We haven't really upgraded all the latest tech stuff that you're seeing these days on like Ghost Adventures and stuff. I'm still running off the SB11 Spirit Box. This I think is a classic and all-round good spirit box, to be fair.
Yeah.
All selling well to these days. And these digital recorders, REMs, Alice box. What else have I got? I've got a noise reducer for the spirit box. So it cuts out all the noise. And it just elevates the voices that come through. Makes it a lot better for recording. A lot of stuff like that, really. But I've got a parabolic dish I can use as well. So it's very useful for spying as well.
Yeah.
You can listen through walls with that, you know.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's good for outside, bigger areas if you want to listen distance. And stuff. Yeah, all kinds of stuff like that, really. I mean, I'm not going all in with tech, like massive loads of state-of-the-art stuff that's coming out with all. Because you see all these geo boxes, and I don't have those. I find out I don't need them.
Yeah.
You know, spirits will pick what they want to use. It doesn't have to be state-of-the-art. That might confuse them. I mean, basic REMs, EMF detectors, things like that, they work. If you're getting a response on them and it's intelligent, use it. I mean, it doesn't have to be top of the range tech. You know, I don't want to. Like the SLS cam, for example, I mean, very useful. We picked up some good stuff on that. Really, in what we believe to be intelligent forms in front of us, doing stuff on request. You ask it to wave, it waves. Lifted its leg up. Just random glitches working in our favor, or did that just respond intelligently and stuff? So, stuff like that, really. So it's not overboard with the tech.
And do you think anyone can use it, or do you think there is a certain connection with people that use it?
think a bit of both. Yeah, I've seen people who go on all out buying tech and then get no results.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it is down to the person, their personal belief, and how they're doing it, how they're probing, how they're asking questions. Are they being respectful? Because there's
Yeah.
too much provoking going on. People go in and negatively provoke.
And I think that's come from the American,
He's a
the American
spirit,
stuff,
so you've
isn't
got
it?
to be nasty to him.
Yeah.
You don't. You treat them like people.
Yeah.
Like we're talking now. I mean, that's the way I like to go into an investigation. I introduce myself. I'm in their home or their place of residence. So, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be respectful.
Yeah.
I'm going to gain their trust. So they'll talk to me. If you go in there demanding this, demanding that, you're going to get one of two things happen. One, nothing.
Yeah.
They're going to ramp up and see you out in some kind of way. And yeah, so you just got to be natural. It's human nature at the end of the day. 99% of spiritual deal with our human nature, our human spirits. So human nature applies as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It don't take long to figure out whether you're dealing with a nasty one or a good one, does it?
Yeah.
The responses you get and the feelings you get and the energies you get. So you kind of think, okay, I've been nice to you. You're not being nice back. So you can it's investigating. That's what we do.
I've had even with really horrible ones where stuff's going on, and I just go, come on, knock it off. I'm trying to have a chat with you, and it calms down.
Yeah. You can negotiate. Yeah. I find if you've got a narcissistic entity, you've got to do the same as what the police would do in a way. You've got to apply to their narcissistic nature.
Yeah.
You go, well, fair play. You're the most fearful spirit I've ever come across. You've really made us work. We need to talk to you. Big them up.
Yeah.
In a way, because that's what they want.
Yeah.
You can ask them all day to do stuff for you, but if it's for you, they're not going to do it because it's not in their nature to do so. So you got to apply to there. You've got to know that, okay, this one's a bit narcissistic. Let's work with that.
Yeah.
Tell them how great they are. And, and then you get responses. It's just a bit of psychology in there and figuring out what kind of spirit you're dealing with and what their mental state may have been like in life, what their personality traits were. And you can work with that if you bond with a spirit over time.
Yeah.
That takes time, you ain't going to get all that in one investigation.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to go back and back and back and just keep building that rapport with them until they're literally talking to you.
That's really interesting.
Best they can,
Yeah.
And that's what we've done at the Antique Centre with Mary. I can go in there right now with a spirit box. I guarantee I'll get something from her.
Yeah.
Something definite every time.
Why do you think some are there? You say you think it's people who have passed away. Why do most people that pass away disappear wherever, and then some are stuck? Why do you think that is?
And numerous reasons, I think. Some are at peace, so you don't hear from them.
Right.
Others, I think, there's unfinished business.
Yeah.
They may be sticking around because they're worried about certain family members who are going through a tough time. They may be connected to a certain property. We had one case once, a woman come in to see us about seeing stuff not long after her husband had died, elderly lady. She was seeing things in her living room and stuff. But her husband had built that house with his bare hands. He brought their family up there for years. So that's another reason why a spirit would hang around.
Yeah.
Has a personal connection to there. His loved ones are still there. His family grew up there, so he's connected to that. Some, people don't know they're dead. Bang, gone, hit by a bus or something. They might not be aware that they're actually passed away. You got others who were wrongfully killed, maybe murdered, wronged in some way.
Yeah.
I think all of these things contribute to why a spirit might hang on. Suicides. I think they hang on because they made a choice that they shouldn't have made. It wasn't natural. Anything like that, really. Anything that can bind a spirit to this earth. Any unfinished business. But we had one on Robinswood Hill once, and it was awesome because we believed that we passed her over.
Right.
We weren't even looking for this woman when we went up there. We were looking for another spirit, but this woman came through, and she was talking to us, a lot of words coming through on the thing, and they were very relatable. And we actually said to her, "You do know you can leave here, don't you?" I don't think she thought she could leave. I
Right.
think other spirits, more powerful ones, were keeping her there and telling her she couldn't never leave. He said, "You can leave." And so we did this thing where you could feel the energy there. It's getting quite intense as we were talking to her. And we said, "Oh, there's a light. All you have to do is walk towards it." Now, obviously, we can't see this light. So but we always tell them to walk towards this light. So they must see this light. And gradually, we got to the point where we feel that she did go through this light, because all of a sudden, all the spikes dropped off on our meters. No more words came through, and the energy, it was the main thing, was the energy shift
Right.
from intense to like a peace,
Right.
a calming, relaxing energy. Oh, it's an awesome, happy,
Yeah.
positive energy. And it was like, wow, I think we've just done that,
Yeah. Yeah.
Instant shift in energy from quite intense and almost negative to happy and energized. And that was it. Couldn't get out of her anymore. And so, yeah, did we pass her over? I think we did.
Yeah.
Honest.
That's amazing.
But
And what do you see your role is as an investigator kind of on that? Is it to move them on, or is it just to try and document?
both, really. I mean, documenting is our main thing. You're investigating. I want to document as much visual, audio, whatever evidence we can to prove the existence of spirits.
Yeah.
But in so doing, we can help the spirit pass over. Not only is that great to document and further, but it's, wow, what a service,
Yeah.
I mean, you're helping a spirit pass over. That's a massive thing personally for me. Yeah, so if I can do that at the same time, that's brilliant. You can document it all. Obviously, the more you can document, the better.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the best thing that you've, like, the best bit of evidence you've ever captured?
Oh, best bit of evidence we've ever captured. I think it's going to be an EVP. So I love EVPs.
Yeah.
Because audio, visual stuff can be, oh, well, you played with that, or, that's this or that. But when you catch an EVP and you know that there's nothing else that could say that.
Yeah.
And there was one there's a place called the Dean Heritage Centre. It's in Sudeley in the Forest of Dean. So, museum for all the Forest of Dean kind of stuff, industry, war, all that kind of stuff. They've got some wooded area on the back of it called the Gruffalo Trail. And we had the whole place to ourselves one night. We were the first team to ever investigate it. And we got to the point where our cameras needed charging. So we thought, let's go and take a walk up in the woods and see what we can get up there. We just took a couple of EMF meters and digital recorders, really. Didn't bother with the camera. We let them charge. We went up there and we started getting spikes in the middle of the wood. And it was like, okay, we shouldn't be getting spikes out here. And then I thought I could hear this slight murmuring of a female voice. Couldn't make out words. It was like a murmuring noise. And then I remember Ed asked the question. I remember saying, I think I just heard a woman. And then Ed asked the question, is there someone there or something like that? And we've got perfect tone, female voice, really soft voice, female voice. Right? It sounds like she's saying music. I'm humming to music. In a crystal voice, it's vocal tone.
Yeah.
It's not a whisper. This is a vocal tone. And it matched the murmuring I could hear. So I was like, oh my God. So we run this past a few people and they reckon that could have been an elemental trying to lure us into the woods. Because there have been stories of people who've been lured into the woods by murmuring a voice or something.
The Forest of Dean has so much folklore, doesn't it? And
then they disappear for about 2 weeks, and then they turn up with a beard all disheveled and don't know where they've been for the last 2 weeks or something like that. So I thought, could it be that or something? There's no one else out there. We're in the middle of the Forest of Dean.
Yeah.
1:30 in the morning this was, so it was like it's not somebody out there messing us around.
Yeah.
So I'd say that was the best audio evidence we ever captured, because the vocal tone on it.
It's wonderful, isn't it, when you get an EVP? Because most often it's rare to get an EVP, and when you do, it's often like, and people
Yeah,
are people can differentiate different things. But then when you get one that is as just clear as day, as if someone's just spoken, it's just
yes,
absolutely incredible. It's
it
such an
is.
amazing
Blows you
feeling.
away. It's my
Yeah,
favorite type of evidence all day long is
yeah.
EVPs. Yeah, definitely.
Our best one we had was one with the Abbey Ghost Hunters, who don't exist anymore, but they did this youth centre, and we someone says, right, we're going to go in that room now, and then on the cassette you can hear as clear as day someone goes, and what thou asked, like that. And I
Yeah,
was there, no one had said it, but hearing it back, it was like, oh my, that's amazing, in old English as well.
yeah. Yeah, we've had some pretty freaky ones in Gloucester Prison as well.
Right.
We investigated Gloucester Prison for about 2.5 years. And wow, that's our most thorough investigation. That was, I mean, from start to finish. It's probably one of the only investigations where we fully profiled a spirit. I think
Right.
we're the only people who ever named a spirit, profiled him from Gloucester Prison. He was Albert Manning, his name was. We took years to get this out of him, and he terrorized us, and he tried everything possible to get rid of us, turning us on each other, to causing us physical pain, mental pain.
Right.
So I had a bad back at the time, so he really played on that to try and get me to go. You just soldier on. Sometimes it try and possess us. But one day we got the name Albert come through in the kitchen area. It's said to be a dark entity in the kitchen area. So this is why we hit it. And then because our uniforms at the time, they looked quite official, our Gloucester Paranormal uniforms. So sometimes we get mistaken for being law, like police or something, security or something like
Yeah.
that. So this spirit didn't like that too much. And I remember explaining to him, oh, we're not the police. We're just investigating paranormal, like, you know what I mean? And with that, REMS and the KT all start going off. We got this name Albert come through. We look it up. There's an Albert Manning. He was executed in 1893, I think it was,
Right.
for murder. And he was a bit of a character, we found out. He kind of played the mental health card for many years. And back in the 1800s, that's a hard one to play. So he basically turned himself into this hunched over guy who's not right. And he had the Home Office led this out for years, trying to figure out whether he was mental or not, or whether he was not in his own mind, and what should we do with him? And eventually they said, no, he's guilty. We're going to hang him. And with that, he stood up straight in the court and, knocked his whole life mentally and all that, and just gone. And stood there and took his punishment. So he's a good actor. He's good at mimicking, and he was good at putting on an act for years.
Yeah.
Where even his posture would be different. For
Right.
years he did this. So he's a clever guy.
Yeah.
He was executed on a part of the prison that wasn't public. The executions back then were public. People used to watch. But this was a time where they were renovating certain parts and building the new chamber. So he was executed at the back on a non-public one, which I don't think he wanted. I think he wanted it public.
Right. Could have
And
been
then
more of a show.
bury him just in the ground anywhere
Right.
on the site.
Right.
And the kitchen wasn't there then. So they built the kitchen on top of him, basically. That's why he was there.
Right.
Yeah. That's why the kitchen was so active. It was on top of where he was buried.
It must be amazing to have that verification of someone you've got some evidence through, and then you can actually trace it to an actual living human.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was documented citizen newspaper articles on it, on his story. He killed his lover. He had an affair with this woman, and she had an interest in another guy, so he shot her.
Right.
Yeah, that's why he was executed in the end. But yeah, we got him, and we kept going on at him. he liked to mimic being other spirits. In different parts of the prison, all these other teams that have gone in goes, yeah, there's a spirit in A-Wing. His name's this. There's a spirit in the laundry corridor, and his name's Harold. No, there isn't. They're all the same spirit. But he mimics. He likes to try and mimic being different spirits.
Right.
People. And really, it was him all along. And through the years of investigating his behavior through our equipment, you know when it's him and when it's not.
Right.
Different spirits use different equipment in certain ways. It becomes like their signature, if you like. They pick what they like and they use it in certain ways. So I say sometimes you can say, okay, this spirit's in that area and that spirit's in that area because of the way they interact with your equipment differently. You know? So that's how it kind of works. It's all the same. It's all very generic here. Who's all these names? So we debunked all them, and it's just you, Albert, you know. And he used to get mad and he'd slam doors. I mean, you know how heavy cell doors are in, you know, prisons.
Yeah.
And they're already kind of open because they kind of do that anyway. Open back up. He'd slam them. It's like we'd be on A-Wing, he'd slam one on B-Wing.
Right.
Go to B-Wing, he'd slam one on A-Wing. So he'd have us running around.
Running around, yeah.
We used to put REMs, one at one end of A-Wing, one on the far end of B-Wing. That one would go off. So we'd run to A-Wing. As soon as we get there, it'd stop seconds before we reach it. And then the other one would go off the other end. So
proper trickster.
You like to be in control. You like to see us running around. So, yeah, we used to wind him up a little bit. And that's when provocation comes into it as a strategy in a little way, because he's playing games with us, and now we're going to play games back, kind of thing. So we wound him up a bit. I threatened to go and point his salad so I can go and paint it pink for him. For the Mr. Pinky Man. And with that, he growled. We've actually got a growl and stuff. And doors slamming, and and in the end, we did an investigation, and we've got a little EVP. It's very faint, but he says, "You now know who I am."
Right.
That to us was a confession, you know, because we hit him with his whole life story from the age of like 17 upwards. We profiled him, his story, what happened, what did he do, what did he get into, why is he where he was, and we hit him with it. You know, we psychologically just hit him with it.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do with that, I don't think. And in the end, you now know who I am. And it's very faint, but it's there, you know.
Yeah.
And that to us was completion. That was like, yes, we've got the confession.
Yeah.
It's just confessed that is him.
Right.
Everything is him. You know, and that was a good all round there. We were happy with that one.
That's incredible.
Investigations get to that completed stage, did it?
Yeah. I'm kind of, you know, we're talking and I'm smiling. And you're telling about like you're in this jail cell and doors are slamming, and we're like, as investigators, we're like, this is really exciting. I imagine most people are going, well, he's alone in the jail with one other person, and these doors are slamming, and there's no one else around, and it's terrifying. It's fascinating, isn't it? But on that, the one question I always get asked, I'm going to ask you. What is the most terrifying experience you've had?
Terrifying experience I've ever had would be, I think, when one of these spirits that we interacted with paid me a personal visit to my home.
Right, okay.
I'm not sure which investigation it was. I'm guessing it might be the Royal William and Cranham's. We were doing that quite heavy at the time, and there was something quite dark there. Now, I call this entity Mr. No Face. Good reason. He doesn't have a face. He's a big, stocky guy. He likes to walk around with his top off. He's got no face, and he's filled with rage.
Right.
And I remember being led in bed one night, and I was dreaming it. I was in this little tiny flat I'd never been in before with my mum for some reason, chatting away as you do in dreams, you know, a bit random. And I remember looking out the window and seeing Mr. No Face up there with his top off, flexing on top of this building. So what the hell's that? And then I remember walking out into this hallway, and it's pitch dark in this hallway for some reason. My mum disappeared. Don't know where she went. And anyway, next thing you know, I'm getting pulled up through these ceilings into this realm, and It's like he's just coming at me.
Right.
And so I woke up now. I was like, oh, God, that was horrible. So I've got up. I went to use the bathroom, splash some water on my face. And as I'm there, I can just feel this energy. And I'm thinking, oh, he's still here. Someone's still here. You know what I mean? I knew I was awake.
Yeah.
So I've gone back to bed. And as I'm there, it's like he's just come at me. I can see him. He's just come at me. And I remember closing my eyes and having to do some occult training, really. I had to throw up a shield of white light around me, all around me,
Yeah.
and hold it there. And I can actually see him trying to smash his way through it. You can see it distorting as he's ramming against it. He did that 3 times, and it was like, I'm scared at that point because I'm thinking, I can't hold this forever. And this guy, what's he going to do? You know, he's like, I want to rip your face off kind of guy. He's like coming at you. And yeah, I think after 3 times, he gave up. And I thought, is he just stopped? Is he pacing around like Darth Maul out there waiting for me to come out? or what? And as I just come out, it was gone. But that terrified me.
Why do you think he chose you? Why do you think he's come after you?
I sometimes think it's because of some of the training that I've had with the witchcraft and the occult stuff. I think sometimes that they think I can manipulate them in ways using that.
Right.
So maybe that makes me a target in a way. They can
That
sense
makes
that
sense.
I have those skills, so they can just get rid of him because he could be a threat. Maybe.
Right.
I don't know. That's just guessing, really. But
Yeah.
I always seem to be the one that gets beaten up. I do. I mean, Gloucester Prison, I ended up with a nerve damage to my neck from there, from a
Well,
investigation on Sea Wing. Now, I remember this. This is, we had it all to ourselves, the whole prison, the whole night. Just
amazing.
Yeah, it was. We decided to do Sea Wing, which is the old young offenders wing. Some dark stories going on in there. And I got told to F off in there. I made the newspapers, EVP, telling me, swearing at me, on that wing. So we went up there, and the public can only go on landing 1 and 2. The upper ones, 3, 4, 5, and 6, they're out of bounds and in rougher condition. So we decided to go up there. And Ed went up to the top one. I was in the middle one on my own. And I remember Ed radioed down to me and said, I think the honest spot was just said your name, my full name, which is a bit weird. And then it said, "We'll hurt you." Okay. And with that, as I'm filming with my night vision camera there, I get this anomaly come out of a cell door, come up to me camera, did all this in front of the camera for a second, then goes back in to the door. I thought, wow. And the next thing I know, it's like pain right in there. It's like someone had just, not sharp, but someone just got some blood and just went in my neck. Pain. I had about 2 years of grief with my arm.
Right.
And I found out it was nerve damage to my neck.
Right.
Explaining that one to the doctor.
Mm.
Yeah. How did you do that then? I was in Gloucester Prison and got attacked by a spirit.
Yeah.
I think they've been making me a very different appointment.
Yeah. I've got a different hospital to go for that one.
Yeah. So it was a bit of an hard one to explain to people. But yeah, that happened for 2 years before I managed to sort that out. There's one stage where I couldn't straighten my left arm.
Right.
It was that bad. And I believe that was the cause of it because it was fine before that.
There are the fairy lights in the woods that I've heard. Where was it? I heard something recently about these lights going in and actually going in people. And some people that they came out and they were in like hurt, but there was one person who was lying on rubber, so they weren't grounded, and it actually made a hole in their arm or something. Wow. So I can't remember where I heard that. It was recent though. Yeah. We're coming up to an hour, Paul. So I've got 2 questions, and then I'm gonna ask you to direct people to all the stuff you're doing. I want to know like what you have learned in terms of your craft as an investigator, going from the beginning to how you investigate now. So what you've learned and improved, but also second after that, what you think you've learned spiritually from the beginning of your journey till now?
Well, I think it was what I've learned from the beginning of this till now is the respect you need and the techniques you need to successfully communicate with spirits with purpose. If you want to get results, I mean, you all go in very on the same page really to get this, get that, using this and that. But I think over the years you grow your own techniques that work for you. They don't work for everybody. I think I've developed a certain style of investigating that works for me now. That helps me bond with the spirit. I mean, I can kind of read them a little psychologically. I've studied more about those sides of things. Never used to know all of that. So different techniques of bringing out that information in the same way you would a human, techniques of enticing certain information or getting a spirit to act a certain way to prove things. And the equipment, obviously, the equipment's always upgrading and stuff. So techniques always changing. Spiritually, I mean, stronger now than ever, really. I mean, there's always spirits around me, and the spirit world's always showing me something that kind of overwhelms me, where I never used to be like that. So yeah, I think becoming the more you do it, more sensitive you become over the years, and so you're so in tune with it. I mean, I have spirits popping in I believe I have spirits popping in all the time and doing random stuff. I'm sure you probably do yourself. They like to say hello now and again. I've never felt closer to the spirit world than what I do now, in a good way.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to die soon already, but in a good way. I feel that I'm on a good journey.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's all going. I just kind of go with the flow, and I let the spirits lead me. And it's in their hands really where I end up with all of this. It's for them I did it in the beginning, and it's for them I do it now.
And do you think you'll ever get bored of it?
No. They won't let me. They won't let me. There's been times where I think, I've had enough of all this. It's just getting on top. I just want to concentrate on something else for a bit, and they just won't leave. They won't leave me.
Yeah.
They're always going, no, you're not. I'm going to do this, and you're going to have a look into that, and this will happen. It never leaves you. I think once you're involved in this, and they've chosen you, that's it. You're in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's non-stop. So you've got loads of stuff going on. You're doing like the ghost stories of Gloucester. That's doing really well.
A pretty new thing, really. We're just doing episode 4 now for Halloween. It's just a little project me and Tim with what we get off the ground. I'm kind of inspired by you a little bit. I see you doing your ghost stories, and I thought, I like this. This can be done. No one's doing this down here. So you kind of inspired me a little bit.
You're just doing it so it looks professional instead of just me with a random camera.
Well, you do a good job.
Cheers.
Yeah, you inspired me a little bit. I can do this down here. But, let's do it into a YouTube channel. So we are creating a YouTube channel.
Fantastic.
And
I'll include the links to that below in the show notes so people can go and check that out.
Yeah, thank you. We just invested in couldn't afford a big camera on that, so I just got a really decent iPhone and a gimbal and a couple of things, and we just try and do something a little different with each episode and just try and form it into something. So I've got that going on. There's going to be some ghost tours going on at the Gloucester Antique Centre coming up soon. I'm in the preparing stage of that. It's a new project.
I need to come down to one of those. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Once I've got them up and running, that should be fun. Yeah. Obviously, I'm involved in loads of other projects. I work a little bit with TV stuff, and obviously the Fortean Film Festival coming up. One of my episodes is in that this year. So,
fantastic.
Yeah. Not quite sure it's quite the quality of everybody else's, but it's in there, and we'll have a go. So,
and you Gloucester Paranormal page as well, so we'll include that in the show notes so people can check that out.
Yeah, Gloucester Paranormal is still a thing. It's just not me and Ed don't actually work together so much. Now we're kind of doing our own things. GPIS page is still there and live. And yeah, we're doing an investigation coming up at the convent in Stroud after the 14 Film Festival. Straight to it, like we did last year. That's a really fun place. That's a fun place to investigate. Yeah, we've got a lot going on. Yeah, different projects, different things. I mean, I've ventured off into the world of cryptozoology a little bit and ufology, and so it's not all about the spirits and the ghosts now. I like to look at everything, you know.
All the high strangeness, it's all connected.
It is all connected. Yeah. The truth is out there, as they say.
So thank you so much for coming on the show, Paul. And
thanks for having me.
We'll send everyone to go and look at your ghost stories. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, get in touch.
Yeah, will do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.